Avowed is Xbox's big bet on famed RPG maker Obsidian. In production for the last 5 years, it has just released on Xbox and PC. It is a first-person action RPG set in the world of Eora, the same setting as Obsidian's Pillars of Eternity series, and indeed there are some characters and a faction that return through the story. If you're expecting to see something familiar, you will be pleased. You take on the role of an envoy sent to the Living Lands to investigate a spreading blight called the Dreamscourge, which is represented by a white fungal growth. Although the inhabitants of the game are so inert, you could be excused from thinking the plague turned people to stone. The narrative focuses on uncovering the source of the blight and navigating the complex political and social landscape of this dangerous new territory, with choices and consequences impacting the story and the world around you, as you would expect from an RPG. Avowed utilizes a stylized aesthetic blending realism with a touch of fantasy art. For me, this seemed dated and a little cartoony, giving the game a feel it was developed over a decade ago before Skyrim. But it is bright and it will appeal to some. It seems to have had a fairly bug-free launch with smooth performance and frame rates holding up even on lower-end machines. Obviously, in an open-world RPG, exploration plays an important role as you traverse differing environments and discover hidden secrets. Dialogue and choice-making are crucial, influencing relationships with NPCs and the overall narrative. But here, Avowed loses my attention. The characters and story arc of your relationship is never one you're made to care about too much.
You really have no idea what happened to this place, do you?
Another design choice that some might take objection to is that Avowed is presented in a semi-open-world manner, with the action taking place in 4 medium-sized open-world environments that are locked off from each other. This worked in Outer Worlds and is not something that greatly bothers me. Fortunately, the combat in Avowed is excellent, and this is its big strength. It combines melee and magic abilities, and you can switch between the two. There is a solid character leveling system that allows you to develop differing characters, and you can blend magic and tank elements together, allowing for a varied playstyle. On top of this are some extra quality of life improvement features like no item weight, direct stash access, and no ammo requirements for ranged weapons, all of which makes combat more varied and allows you to just get on and enjoy the game. The audio is decent without being intrusive, except for boss battles where your character seems to have to verbalize with a shout the spell they are casting.
Hey! Over here!
Added to NPC companion fighting, monster noises and spawn noises and buff noises, the battle can be irritatingly noisy at times. Combat will be a struggle though throughout the game, as upgrading equipment seems to make little difference. There is never a stage that you can get to in the game where you feel overpowered. It's always a struggle. Obsidian wanted to make a shorter RPG, and they have. What they have made with Avowed is an action RPG-lite. The game is smaller, the world more constrained, everywhere seems desperately empty, and the game holds your hand with commentary on what you should do at every turn. There is little discovery on your own for an RPG. It does have a good combat system though, but this is tainted by slightly poor scaling. Smaller game, larger price. Overall, this seems like a jumping on point for players new to RPGs and Obsidian, which is probably just what Xbox had in mind. And if you approach it like that, then you'll probably have a good time.
Gods, it's a bloodbath.